Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining me on yet another video. If you are new here, my name is Melom Tian, and on this channel, really what I just try to do is document our real, raw and honest journey of building our dream home right here in South Africa. So guys, if that is the kind of content that you do enjoy, please do click that subscribe button. Please like my videos. It does help me when you like my videos, when you do comment, and super thanks are also welcome, guys. So yeah guys, I know a lot of you have been asking for progress on our home, and yeah guys, there is a bit of progress, so I will share that with you in the next week or two. So yeah, basically today's discussion is really just inspired by the fact that while we are in this phase of building our house, I decided to approach a few companies to give us quotations on our windows and sliding doors, because as you've seen, we've got a lot of glass in our house, we've got a lot of sliding doors, we've got a lot of windows. So I approached a few window manufacturers to give us quotes on our windows and sliding doors, and today I want to share that with you. I know a lot of people underestimate the cost of windows and sliding doors, because most people just think windows are just glass. How expensive can that be? But you will see in the quotations today that I'm going to share with you that this can be one of the most expensive parts of your finishing stage. So we're going to go through the first two quotations. The first quotation that I'm going to show you is from company A, and the second one will be from company B. So once again, guys, I'm not going to mention any company names. So I will just go through the codes with you, and then we'll just name the companies A, B, and so forth. And really what I'm just hoping that you will get out of this video is that by the end of the video, you'll have more clarity in terms of how to prepare for the cost of windows and sliding doors, and not be caught off guard when you get the quotations yourself. So yeah, let's look at the first quotation, which is from company A. So if we look at the first quote from company A, you will see that our quotations are split between windows and sliding doors as well, because we've got both windows and sliding doors to fit. So company A is quoting me for 34 windows, and their total comes to 57,570 rands for the material. And then they are saying that for fitment per window, they are charging 450 rands. So that comes to a total of 15,300 rands for all 34 windows. And then the subtotal for this is 72,870 rands, and the VAT at 15% comes to a total of 10,930 rand 50 cents. So the total amount for the windows only is 83,800 rands. Company A spec on the glass is 4 millimeters of clear glass, and then the frame is charcoal, and then they're also stating there 4 millimeter OBS glass. I don't know what is that. I will have to find out from them. But yeah, the frame is charcoal gray. And I know that we requested that the glass should be glazed, but they are not mentioning that in the quotation. So we'll have to find out if the glazing is included as well. So moving on to the sliding door codes, still from company A, you will see that the spec here has changed a little bit. They are coating on 6.38 millimeter Sharo glass. I don't know what Sharo is. So for those of you that are in this industry, please do share if you do know what this type of glass is. And here you can also see that the sliding doors are Palais doors. So Palais doors are basically sliding panels, and they are different from your popular folding doors that are used in a lot of homes. Yeah, so sliding doors are basically panels and not those folding doors. And the reason why we wanted Palais doors was because I've heard a lot of people complain about the mechanisms of folding doors, and they say that a few years down the line they give issues. So we thought let's go for sliding doors. And for me, sliding doors are much more aesthetically pleasing than the folding doors. I don't know, we'll still have to make that decision, but for now we're asking for quotations on sliding doors. I've also heard that, sliding windows are also, now in the market, and a lot of homes are actually making use of sliding windows than your traditional windows that open out. So yeah, a lot of homes are now using sliding windows, and a friend of mine has actually installed them, and I actually want to go and see how they look and how they operate, so that when the time comes, we can make an informed decision. So yeah, going back to the sliding door code, so this company quoted us for 12 sliding doors, and the total for the material comes to 154,100 rands, and they are charging 850 per fitment per sliding door, and for 12 sliding door that comes to a total of 10,200 rands. So guys, you will see on the quotations what each glass measurement is and how much that glass is costing. So I'm not gonna go into detail on that one. If you wanna see the measurements and the cost, you can always pause the video and look at each one thoroughly. So yeah, I'm just basically summing up the totals for you guys. So the subtotal for this quotation is 164,300 rands without VAT, and then the VAT is working out to 24,645 rands, and the total with VAT is working out to 188,945 rands. So all in all, this quote is coming to a total of 272,795 rand 50 for both windows and sliding doors for the entire house. Yo, this seems quite hefty. I don't know, guys. This seems like a lot of money. 300,000 just for windows and sliding doors. Yo, I don't know if these costs will ever end, eh? So yeah, let me know what you think of this quote, guys. Let's move on to the second quote from Company B. So Company B's quotation is mixed up with the windows and the sliding doors, so there aren't two separate quotations for that. So this is page 1 of Company B's quotation. So I will just pause there a little bit. And then this is page 2 of their quotation. So Company B's quotation has 41 windows with 2 big shopfront windows and 1 double volume window. And then they quoted us for 14 sliding doors. So the total for their quotation comes to 364,718 rands. But they are not mentioning anything about VAT here. When you're just glancing at the codes, it looks like Company A's quotation is much more cheaper. But when you start comparing, or when you start digging deeper, you can see that, there are major differences on the code. For example, Company A is mentioning 34 windows, whereas Company B is mentioning 41 windows. Company B is mentioning 14 sliding doors, and Company A is mentioning 12 sliding doors. So it's very important that, all the windows are accounted for, because you don't want somebody coming and saying, you know what, I didn't quote you for this, because Company B is also mentioning shop front windows and double volume windows, and we need to check that everything is aligning with the schedule that I gave them, the window and sliding door schedule that I gave them, because at the end of the day the differences are major, and that alone can have a significant impact on the total costs. From what I see, Company B has a much broader scope, and it seems like they have included everything. But like I said, one just needs to really compare the quotations properly and see that it aligns with my window schedule. And another major difference that I'm seeing is that Company B has included 2 garage doors with installation, so with motor and installation, and that cost comes to 70,000 rands. That alone is a significant cost, that makes their code also different from company A's quotation. So company A's quotation might look like it's cheap, but there's a lot of things that they haven't included. And I think this also ties back to an important point that I made in that video where I did the codes for Pretoria. And I mentioned the importance of reading and carefully understanding every line in a code. It is important to always take the time to dig into the actual breakdown of the cost and the quantity so that you know what you are paying for. By doing this, you can easily spot hidden costs, missing items, as well as surprises, that may cause you frustration down the line. Remember, a detailed and transparent code protects you from unexpected expenses and helps you make a more informed decision, ultimately saving you money and stress in the long run. Another notable difference between the two codes lies in the terms and conditions. Company B clearly outlines their terms, while Company A does not mention any terms and conditions at all. Company B specifies that they require an upfront deposit of 80%, with the remaining 20% to be paid upon completion of the job. This payment structure is very important to understand, as it shows their expectations for cash flow and commitment before starting the work. They also provide detailed specifications regarding the materials that they use. For example, all windows are glazed with 4mm glass, while shop fronts, double volume windows, and doors are fitted with shatterproof glass. That is mentioned there. This level of detail really does give one confidence in the safety and durability of the materials being used. Moreover, they go over and beyond. Company B assures you that all their aluminum products comply with the standards set by reputable industry bodies, specifically the Association of Architectural Aluminium Manufacturers of South Africa, as well as the South African Glass and Glazing Association. And this compliance really is reassuring, as it means that the materials that they use meet strict quality and safety guidelines. In addition to this, I also like the fact that Company B, is stating that they offer after-sales service that covers any functional issues with windows and doors. So they commit to resolving any problems free of charge for the first 3 months after installation, and thus provides an extra layer of peace of mind that is often overlooked but highly valuable. The one thing that I do not like, though, is that Company B does not specify whether VAT is included or provide any details, about lead times. It's important to proceed with caution and make sure that all of this is clearly clarified before moving forward. So let's move on to the next quotation, which is for Company C. You will see that Company C has also split their quotation into two parts. One is for the windows and one is for the sliding doors. So this is the first page of Company C's quotation for the windows. And then moving on to the second page of this quotation, you will see that they are quoting for 39 windows, which comes to a total of 234,460 rands before VAT. And then the VAT works out to 35,169 rands. And the total for the windows only, including supply and fit, which is 21,450. So the total works out to 269,629 rands. This is just for the windows. And mind you, this company is not stating on their quotation how thick is the glass. They are mentioning the spec of the frame, but nothing is mentioned about the millimeters of the glass. And then let's move on to the sliding door quote for Company C. So this is the first page of the sliding door quotation from Company C. And I like that they are indicating where each of the sliding doors are. So at least you don't wander around, checking for the sizes to check which sliding door is where. So they are indicating, for example, bedroom 1 and 2, the stairs, lobby. They're indicating lounge and entertainment, playroom, and so forth. So yeah, if we go to the second page, you can see that they are quoting for 15 sliding doors, and they are also quoting for the Palace sliding doors. Like I've already indicated that that's what we requested. And once again, they are not mentioning the millimeters of the glass, but it could be that they are just assuming that they don't have to mention it because it's already stated on the window and door schedule. So they're basically quoting me for what I've asked them for. So this does not mean that, you know, they will not give me the millimeters that we requested for. But yeah, it's one of those things that one will have to clarify if we do go with this company. But I think that is why they did not feel the need to indicate the millimeters here. So this quotation for the sliding doors alone is working out to 400,366 rands. The tax for this is working out to 60,054 rand 90 cents, and the total is working out to 460,420 rands 90 cents. So if we calculate the total amount for windows and sliding doors for company C, it works out to 730,049 rands 90 cents, because 269,629 is for the windows and 460,420 rands 90 is for the sliding doors. So that gives you a total of 730,049 rands 90 cents. Company C does not mention any terms and conditions. They are not saying anything about warranty and all of that stuff. But what they do mention here is that 70% payment is required on confirmation of order. So which means that if we do decide to go with this company, we'll have to put up an upfront deposit of 511,034 rands 93 cents. Yo, we are talking big money here. So yeah, what I did forget to mention in the beginning is that all the companies that I requested quotations from are basically local companies, except for one company. But all these companies, I have basically seen their work, and their work is quite satisfactory. So yeah, I think the most important thing is to just make sure that the quantities are correct before we basically choose the company that we would like to come and do the work for us. But yeah, I've basically seen all of their work. So yeah, guys, let's move on to company D's quote, and let's see what they are quoting. So this is the code from company D, and their code is quite detailed. Actually, they are mentioning all the specs, they are mentioning the measurements. So this is page 1 of the code, page 2 of the code, this is page 3 of the code, page 4 of the code, page 5 of the code. Yo, this code is quite long. Page 6. This is page 7. Page 8. And then the last page is the one that basically shows all the totals. So the nice thing here is they've numbered and listed the doors according to the way they are on the schedule. So it's very nice because then I can exactly locate which window or which door they are quoting me for. So even though the description is not there, like on that other code that says bedroom, you know, playroom, pajama lounge, and so forth, but the numbering, you know, directs you exactly to the window or the door according to the schedule. So the total on this quotation is working out to 422,976 rand 54 without VAT, and the VAT is working out to 63,446 rand 48 cents, and then the total for the windows and the sliding doors according to the schedule that I provided them with works out to 486,423 rand 2 cents. And then they are just stating there that they want a 60% deposit, and then the remaining 40% can be paid upon completion of the contract. So this means that 291,853 rand 81 cents will be required before any work can commence, and on completion 194,569 rand 21 cents will be paid. I think this is quite a reasonable payment structure, because with the windows and doors it is different, because the people that must come and install need to buy the material. So in this case, I do understand the need for a deposit. So yeah, guys, that is the quotation from Company D. Let me know what you guys think of these quotes. Let me know who you have used for your house and how much did it cost, if you are willing to disclose that. Let me know if you think that these quotes are reasonable or not, or if we are being taken for a ride. It would be nice to get your input, because I do not know much about, windows and sliding doors. So yeah, let us go to the last quotation from Company E. So this is the first page of this quotation. And I do like that just with the previous company, they've also indicated the numbers of the doors and the windows just as they are stated on the window schedule. So you don't have to wander around, comparing measurements to see which window is for which room and which door is for which room. So you can just see, and they've actually even given the description there as well. Then this is the second page of this quotation, and it goes on. And then the last page basically shows the total, and they are charging for 56 items, which includes windows and doors. The supply and fit works out to 22,400 rands. The subtotal here works out to 312,935 rands. The VAT works out to 45,290 rand 25 cents. Then the total is 358,225 rand 25 cents. And we can really see that these quotations are more or less the same in terms of pricing, except for that quotation which is 700 and the one for 400 and something thousand. There we can see the price is slightly different. But yeah, these other quotes are more or less along the same, amounts. And it could be that other quotations are mentioning other things that other quotations are not mentioning. So yeah, one just needs to really look and dive, into these breakdowns to make sure that there are no surprises later onwards. This company is also stating their terms and conditions: 6 months guarantee on workmanship, 12 months guarantee on powder coating. This is very interesting because none of the other companies are mentioning anything about powder coating. So that's one thing that one needs to find out. And then they indicate that they will come and do final measurements. And they are mentioning that they will require an 80% deposit, and then they will require 20% upon completion. They are also mentioning a lead time of 10 to 20 business working days. And they are mentioning that they will communicate any delays directly, and all goods remain their property until full payment is received. So yeah, guys, I've shown you 5 quotations today, and I hope that this has given you a clearer picture of what to expect in terms of costs for windows and sliding doors. But do remember that the specs do differ, guys, and depending on what you want and how big or small your windows are, the cost might be less, because our house really has quite large windows and sliding doors. A significant portion of our budget is really going towards the sliding doors, mainly because they are quite large. I mean, there's one which is 2.5 by 6 meters. And then there are 2 others that are like 2.5 meters by 4.5 meters. So they are definitely on the bigger side. These large sliding doors are really driving the cost up. And on top of that, the fact that, every bedroom opens to a balcony, as well as the gym, the pajama lounge, and the study room. All of these, require their own balcony access, and that means even more larger doors. So let me know what you thought of these quotations, guys. What stood out for you? What surprised you the most? And until the next episode, guys, may your hands filled with wisdom, may your heart stay grounded, and may your vision remain clear. Happy building and blessings on your journey. Bye for now.